Today I want to get into some stuff that I picked up at Sephora. There's a bunch of new releases going on right now in January, which is very normal, usually in the drugstore land, but we've had a lot of new releases. Some new foundation drops from ABH, which I picked up. I'm going to want to be testing that out. It hasn't arrived yet, but there are some things in here that I actually didn't pick up right away that are recent launches, but like not super new, not like they landed yesterday. I did pick up one of the Eye Illusion eyeshadow duos from Ta, retailing for $42. This was a full-on buzz when this happened, but I wanted this particular color story, the Still at the Club, which is the most brown and then taupe, because I figured I would get the most use out of this. So I waited until it came back in stock, and then I missed it, and then I waited again, so I finally picked it up. I also picked up the Kosas Revealer Extra Bright, and this is a serum powered color corrector. I picked up two new eyeshadow mascara releases. Gucci, you guys, I love the Gucci mascara. I've heard a lot of you say the same thing, that you liked the Gucci mascara, but this one's the Full Fan Effect Volume and Curl mascara. It's in black packaging, so it is slightly different. The Haus Labs mascara, and then the Inks Vinyl Cream from YSL. I just realized, like, doing lip declutters and swatching a bunch of stuff, that I like the creams if it's going to be a liquid matte. So I did want to get this because I like YSL lip products. And I got a couple of things in PR from rephr that I'm actually really excited for. So I'll put timestamps in the description box of everything. So if you want to skip ahead to a particular product, you can. But let's get into it. We're going to start off with the eyeshadow. So these guys retail for $42 a piece, which had the internet up in arms. And I thought it was a little ridiculous, but then I thought to myself, I have singles from Pat McGrath that are $35, and I think that they're really good. They're some of my favorite singles in my whole collection. But also Charlotte has some singles that I think are relatively the same price point, and they're much smaller. The Pat McGrath actually comes with quite a bit of product. And something like this, you actually get two different shades. So I kind of felt like $42 isn't crazy. Like, where are we going with this? Like, why is this too much? You know, I mean, I think for Patrick Ta, I think everyone was thinking kind of like mid-range price point, and maybe this was feeling a little bit luxury, but there are two different shades here as opposed to like what I think we're willing to spend for a single with just one, you know? So I didn't think it was that crazy, to be honest. I didn't chime in on all of that. So this just says sweep over lids with a brush for a scattered effect, or with finger for higher intensity payoff, which is what I'm going to be doing. I'm trying to see like how much product is actually in here in comparison to like something else, but 0.14 ounces or 4 grams. So the scattered lights from Hourglass, I think these retail for in the $20 range, and they're 0.12 ounces. So I think this is a very similar amount of product, but you get two different finishes with this. The one from Pat McGrath is 0.10 ounces. So it's 0.04 less than this, and this is $35. Charlotte's Eyes to Mesmerize are 0.23 ounces, so the most product, and I think these retail for, what, 36 now? Maybe when I picked that up it was like 32, so not as expensive as the 35 that I paid for the Pat McGrath. So $42 for two, not intensely crazy, I don't think. So I have the Still at the Club, which is Sepia Sparkle and Cocoa Sparkle, are the two shades, and I do think that they are slightly different. So what this says is, it's a shimmering eyeshadow duo that illuminates the eyes with superfine sparkles and multi-dimensional pearl pigments. And it doesn't even look like real makeup. Here it is. Doesn't that look like perfect and like not even real eyeshadow? Like, man, that just has like the most textured top layer, and I just don't even think that looks like real eyeshadow, does it? I don't know if this is like a powder formula. Yes, it is, but it looks baked. And that's intense, you guys. I'm thinking the top one is Sepia Sparkle, and then this one here is Cocoa Sparkle. I think these are actually really pretty. I don't see anything wrong with these at all. Here is the Sepia Sparkle. Really nice base, really pretty sparkle. And here is the other one. You could even use that one like as a satin shade in the outer corner. I actually think these are really beautiful. So far, I'm pleasantly surprised. So let's do this. Let's take a little bit in the outer corner. We'll just use this as like an all-in-one palette and create an eye look. Don't bring anything else in, but we're gonna give it like a matte outer corner and then do the sparkles all over. Just using a pretty fluffy brush for this. Something quick and simple. I'm sitting here thinking and I'm going, okay, this is actually kind of a nice shade if you wanted something that was a little less sparkly all over the lid as a single shadow. And then you have the option of going sparkly if you want to as well. I like the texture of this. I like that it's a little bit sheeny without being sparkly. So it can kind of act as a dual product. If you're somebody who does like a single shadow like this on an everyday basis without sparkle, I mean, you've got it. I just think this is gonna turn out nicely and I'm gonna end up enjoying these. And this sparkly one, you know, one of the concerns I have was like, is it gonna be like a topper? Which to me, I'm not interested in really. I don't like toppers, and I think that for the price point, it's never what I'm looking for. I always feel like I got taken advantage of when it's just a topper and it costs like $42, because I don't consider toppers as wearing them all on their own. So I always want something that has a base to it. The second I swatched this and saw the base, I was like, well, this is fabulous. This is perfect. Ideal situation for a sparkly shimmer is to have a nice base. There is a little bit of sparkle fallout, but that's very normal for sparkly singles for me. Has a little mirror in here, so that's kind of nice if you like to just apply this on the go, even something to travel with. And I say that because I think these are travel friendly. Again, I don't know how these are poured, but they kind of look baked to me. It's a gel-like translucent base of the formula lens to color that's true on every skin tone, never dull or ashy. It doesn't say whether or not they're baked, but they kind of look like they're poured shadows. I mean, so far, these are spectacular. Like everything that I think I look for in a single, especially if you hear me talk about singles and how I know what my personal preferences are. So I was actually really pleasantly surprised putting those on. And when I like something and I'm testing it, I throw away the box. So there you go. I think this is really pretty. I think that I'm gonna really enjoy those. Both of them. Actually, I wouldn't mind wearing either one of those finishes all on their own. All right, let's go into this Kosas next. So this retails for $32 and it comes in 5 different shades, and I have the lightest in Magic, which is pink for very light to light skin tones. It's supposed to be a full coverage dark circle color corrector or corrector, brightening and visibly depuffing serum in one that's the fastest way to transform tired eyes. It's made for all skin types. It's got hyaluronic acid, caffeine, dipeptide 2, I don't know what that is, which visibly reduces puffiness, acetyl tripeptide 5, which visibly smooths, firms, and diminishes visible signs of aging. So its full name is Revealer Extra Bright Serum Powered Color Correctors for Dark Circles. So this is not a standalone product. I will say the Kosas Revealer Concealer was hot, viral hot. I hated it. I have tried it several times, couldn't get a shade that I liked, and also it creased on me, and everybody else seemed to love it. And I was like all by myself in the world of hating the Kosas Revealer Concealer. So I actually was hesitant to pick this up for that reason. But I like a lot of Kosas products and I typically will test them just as someone who reviews things, and I'm so into color correctors and I'm finding that a lot of companies are doing them really well. And I'm using them almost every day, whereas I never used to use them before because I couldn't really find a formula that I loved. Now this doesn't feel as thin as the Cali Ray. It feels very similar to the concealer, if I'm being honest, which is like a little thick and a little bit more tacky. I think I want to be careful how much I apply and probably only use just a tad. But I do want to go into these brushes to apply it. These are the newest iteration of the liquids collection that rephr has out. I do have the liquids collection and they have white bristles. I picked them up for myself, I don't know, a year ago. On their website, it says that the liquids collection has been going through different iterations since 2021. So that sounds about right. I've only picked up one other iteration and I liked them. They're still in the concept store. So if you go to rephr and something is in the concept store, it's already discounted. So I think these brushes for the liquids collection typically retail for $80, but I think they're in the concept store for $50 right now. And they are available as far as I know. I did receive these in PR. rephr just reached out to me and said, hey, I'd like to send you some stuff. You know, you don't need to incorporate it in your videos. And I was like, send, please. Oh my gosh, like this is such a big deal to me as a smaller creator. But also I've purchased so many rephr brushes like all on my own, and I already had an iteration of this and they were like, you don't have to feature us in your video. And I was like, no, I totally will, because I've done it before. I just have naturally in my own video making. So anyway, I don't have a discount code with them or anything, but I will link the concept store for these brushes in the description box. Everything will be linked. So this one is a little bit different than the other one that I have, and who knows if they're even here. Here it is. This is one of the liquids collections, and this was like the concealer one. This one is way more dense, and then this one right here is a lot fluffier, and you can see these ones have a white tip. I've never seen rephr have a black brush tip. I'm wondering if this is exactly the same, because this one is B01 and this is LC01, but I've had the liquids collection, so maybe this one isn't from there. I don't know. I just went through and sussed out all the dirty brushes and kind of replaced them yesterday. I was going through a bunch of stuff. So anyway, that's how I want to apply this. I think normally though, I'd probably apply it with a sponge to soak up some of the product. Let me show you guys what it looks like on the back of my hand, having sat there for a while. See how like dry it looks? I don't think this is an extremely hydrating formula. Pretty much the same thing I found with the Revealer concealer. Both times I tested it. I bought it, I decluttered it. Like I bought it when it first released, then I decluttered it. I'm gonna take one off because I want to see how it looks on one side. And then a year or two later, I ended up buying it again thinking, well, maybe my preferences have changed. Maybe I do like this concealer and I was wearing it wrong, especially because I got more into makeup and how I was applying things. And I thought, well, maybe I'm just laying too much, or I was laying too much of it. Why does everyone still love this concealer and I still don't? And I didn't like it the second time, is essentially where I was going with that. I don't think it was how I was applying it. I just do not think that it works for me. It always settled into my fine lines under my eyes. It creased really badly and it was dry. It looked dry. So this is very brightening, I will say, but I don't know if it canceled out all of the blue, which is what I look for. Like by comparison, the Cali Ray is super thin. I can lay something on top of it and I think it covers everything up on one little dots application. So here's one side, here's another. It's brightening, but is it correcting my dark circles? I don't know if I can answer that with a yes just yet. I will also check in with you guys later because it's pretty early in the day when I'm filming this. Thank goodness it's a Sunday, but it is supposed to thunderstorm, so it's overcast today. It's just foggy, cloudy outside. So I'll let you know how this performs. I really want to check in to show you guys whether or not this just creased and did exactly what the Revealer concealer did. Oh, and I also wanted to mention these are fully synthetic brushes. They're crafted to be as close to like natural hair bristles as possible, but they are made of synthetic bristles. I have to say, I think rephr is like one of my favorite brush brands. There's so many out there. I wish rephr made a bunch more styles. They are pretty expensive when they're by themselves, but they're some of the best to clean. They work the best. They're some of the most versatile that I have in my collection. This one is a little bit dense, but it's got like more fluffiness to it than maybe the other one that I have that's similar to this, and it's not slanted like this. I don't think last liquids collection had very much slant, so I can kind of see how they've changed. This is the LC03. I'm actually going to use my Chanel Ultra Lay Tint Ultra Wear All Day Comfort Foundation today, just cause I was thinking I wanted to use something else from Chanel as well, and I wanted to use this brush also for foundation. This is so soft, by the way. Like a lot softer than I think their last iteration. It still performs really well. It's just really soft. They're just so versatile, you guys. That's basically what I love about them. I love that I can use it for foundation, but then I feel like I can also go in with a liquid or cream blush. Like I use these brushes for genuinely everything. I could see myself taking that particular brush and applying like my entire face. Maybe not concealer, but like everything else. I could see myself using this for powder because it kind of fits like this under the eye. Blush definitely, bronzer definitely. Really versatile brushes, and the fact that it's like 50 bucks for these right now. Like I typically only pick up rephr brushes when they're launching in the concept store. I think only 1 or 2 times have I actually picked up a brush when it wasn't from the concept store, just because sometimes I do like to splurge. All right, I'm gonna lay concealer on top of this Kosas color corrector because it's nice and bright, it's nice and pink, but I don't want it to stay that way. This is the tricky part. Is it gonna crease? I'm actually gonna go in with a sponge on this one, try and buff out as much as possible. I don't want it super thick on top of the Kosas color corrector. I also want to show you guys a brush that they sent me. This is sold out. I saw this release at holiday time, but I would never pick it up because it was $159. Not to say that like it's not probably a really spectacular brush, but I'm just not in the market of picking up $159 brushes for myself personally. This is currently sold out, and I'm hoping that I don't mess up the name of this, but look how this comes. It's in a fully cedar box and it smells just like cedar. It's wrapped in something, I don't know, and then this is put around it, just this tie. So this is called the Koyo Brush, I think is how it's pronounced. They describe this as without a doubt the most ambitious brush we've ever created. The Koyo Brush celebrates the best materials, craftsmanship, and the latest innovation from Kumano, Japan. So it's a single pressed ferrule, an advanced brush making technique originated from Kumano, Japan, that gives the brush its unique shape. Look at this box, you guys, this is incredible. Each handle is decorated by artisans using a traditional method called maki-e, which I have no idea if that's the correct pronunciation. Okay, this is how it opens. The top just kind of comes off. It looks like some sort of like fibrous paper in there, kind of similar to what was around the box itself. It has a very, very strong scent. Like it either smells like cedar or this paper has a scent. It says a perfect blend of Saya Coho goat for structure and squirrel for airiness that's customized by a master artisan to suit the brush shape. It's a small batch cheek brush that says will ship in a cedar box wrapped in traditional washi paper. Okay, that's what this is. So here is the inside. So this isn't synthetic. This is natural bristled haired brush. I don't know if I've ever actually used a natural bristles before. I think all of the rephr brushes that I've picked up so far have been synthetic. Oh my gosh. That is like the softest thing ever. Hopefully these animals were dead when we did this. Just of old age, okay? Let's hope. I don't know enough about it, but this is like an absolutely gorgeous little brush. It is currently sold out, so I don't know how much they had in the stock of the batch that they made. This whole thing smells of like cedar or whatever that smell is. This is the softest thing I've ever touched ever. I think I'm going to use this for bronzer today. I really do feel like I want to get this on my face and test me a natural haired bristled brush for the very first time. And I even feel like this design in here is too good to be putting back in like my brush containers. Like it's even raised. It feels like gold stamping. I mean, I don't think it was like hand done, but it could have been. Who knows? I don't know. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to use my Gucci bronzer today because I feel like if anything deserves to touch this brush, it's Gucci. So let's do it. This Gucci bronzer has a little bit of a red tint to it. This is the softest thing in the entire cheek land. Holy smokes. Not like the lightest, most airbrushed application ever. I would hope it would be for $159. Oh, uh-oh. I feel spoiled. Oh, shoot. It's the perfect shape. It's like perfectly soft. Oh my gosh, it's perfect for bronzer. Oh heavens. I don't even want to stop doing this. It feels so good. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tom, for sending this to me. Oh, Tommy. That was spectacular. That was fabulous. I'm not going to lie. I felt like a spoiled little princess. I don't know if you'll be able to stop me now. All right, I bought this for myself, the Le Beige blush from Chanel, so I'm gonna try this. I didn't pick this up recently. It's obviously not a new release, but I do want to try this out. I actually had a bunch of gift cards for my birthday, and a lot of the things that I ended up picking up were like luxury products that I didn't want to spend money of my own on myself. I was like, you don't need that. You have 300 blush. But then when I got the gift cards, I was like, well, this is how you're gonna buy those things. So I picked this up because I wanted to test this for a while. I think now I'm getting more into like Gucci and Chanel. There's just been things that I've picked up that I really ended up enjoying. And so I feel as though like now I want to spread my wings and go for more stuff. Okay, I'm using the last liquids brush in here. What is this one? The LC02 to apply this, since I'm using it for a liquid product. And I'm scared that it's like pulling up the foundation. It's not overly pigmented. It's kind of like a sheer wash of color. This might be a pretty light shade too, but it's so liquidy. I'm scared it is gonna pick up the foundation. I don't even think it is though. Like I'm having a hard time telling, but I don't think it is. I don't know, I think it's really pretty. It's maybe picking up a little bit more on this side than the other side. Now I feel like I'm using quite a bit of blush. It might be the shade too, it's just a little bit lighter in general. I think probably the best way to apply this is probably gonna be a brush and stamping it in as opposed to swiping. Anyway, that was just for me to test. By the way, this is in warm pink. I do think it is warm pink. It is nice and juicy, but it is still wet. So I need to see how it looks when it dries down, because right now I'm getting a wet impression and I don't think it stays this dewy. It could, but I don't think it does. I'm liking where all of this stuff is going. I'm still holding on to the Kosas box. That I didn't let go yet. Wouldn't pass this along having it on a doe foot applicator, except maybe to my sister, but I definitely would return this. Maybe not, I don't know. I'm not a big returner. I need to get over that guilt, but it's already looking so thick on the under eyes. I should have known it was gonna do this. It's just not hydrating enough for me, and I really have those fine lines that I struggle with that, man, if it's not like the thinnest thing ever, I notice it too much. I don't like how dry it is. I'm not even sure we're gonna need to do a check-in at this point because I can already see that it's pretty dang dry, and I'm not currently enjoying the way that my under eyes look. We are gonna move on to the mascaras next. I wanna do the one from Gucci. I have the other one. Let me just pull it out. It is time to let it go because I've had this for more than 6 months. It's not even empty yet, but I do think that it is time to let it go. But here is the original, and I think it retails for the same amount. But this one is called the Le Magnetisme Volumizing Mascara. That's how I think it's pronounced, $36. A black mascara that delivers 90% more volume and holds the curl of your lashes in place for up to 12 hours for a captivating full fan effect. One of the fabulous things about this mascara was that it built on itself better than most mascaras I have. I don't think it was as volumizing as I was looking for. It's more of a lengthening formula, but it builds and it builds and it builds, and it did it in such a way that it didn't get clumpy. It just kept looking better and better. And most mascaras, they have a stopping point. They generally will like start getting clumpy or they'll dry too fast and you can't keep building them. This was the one mascara that had buildability down to a T, and I thought it was such a good formulation that I held it along even though it wasn't as intense as I like. So I jumped all over this when I saw this come out because I wanted something more volumizing, and I don't think that that one was. So I'm really hoping that this one is. Now I'm gonna tell you guys, my thoughts change when it comes to concealers pretty frequent. Why do I keep calling them concealers? Mascaras pretty frequently, because as they dry out, like 2 to 3 weeks after I open the package, they'll just change. The formula will just dry out, or just being exposed to the air, they change a little bit. And so my perception of how a mascara performs has vastly changed, like from the first time that I tested it. So I did open this immediately when I got it, and I let it breathe a little bit, not pushing air into it, but kind of letting it breathe, like opening it, you know, playing with the wand. I don't know if that's fabulous. I wasn't like over here pumping it because you're not supposed to do that, but I think that that helps. I think it'll get a better application with it, doing it that way. I am gonna curl my lashes though. All right, so this wand is slightly different than the original because it has a curved side. It's still molded plastic bristles, but that curved side is different than this one, which is like just the same shape all the way around. And it's a little bit pointed. It's kind of like an acorn. Is that what I'm thinking of? Pine cone. Acorn. What is wrong with you, Carrie? A pine cone. Although pine cones have kind of a bigger bottom, but that was like the only thing that I could think of. So I think that I'm gonna use the side that's curved to start this. Holy smokes. I barely touched my eyelashes. Oh my gosh. Oh. Wow, okay. I'm so glad I opened this ahead of time. This wasn't like the first time it was touching air. What's happening? How did I get this many eyelashes? I can't even believe this. All right, what do you guys think? I'm calling this a first coat. I really didn't go that hard on this. And the first swipe was intense. And it looks like I have 400 tiny little lashes there. Wow, and it's quite pigmented. The mascara itself is really an in-between of it sticks to the lashes, but also it's not a tacky formula. I personally like tacky formulas because they tend to stick to the lashes a lot better and I get more pigmentation out of them. But I'm not opposed to using a mascara that has a slicker formula as long as it does this, has this kind of effect. And generally those things don't go hand in hand when it comes to mascaras. I have so many opinions on mascaras, so many popular ones I'm not like massively obsessed with, and I only like these kind of wands. And I have a preferred formula and I think, ooh, I almost went to the left eye. Woo! I liked it so much. I almost finished it off with this. I feel like I stay away from testing new mascaras because I'm like, no, I'm gonna waste my money. You know, I'm happy with like the 4 that I love and the 4 that I rotate between, and every other one just disappoints me even if I finish the bottle. Why, Gucci, why are you so good at mascaras? Anyway, let's get back to this blush because it's fully dry. I don't think it disturbed the foundation. It's got a little bit of a dewier, stickier leftover, but it's pretty. It's like your very everyday flush of color. I like it. It's just an extremely wet formula, and I think that probably might not be everybody's preference. I can tell you that it was kind of an interesting sensation going on, and then the patience of letting it dry too. All right, this box is going in the garbage. That's not going anywhere. All right, the Haus Labs mascara. I just want to try more from Haus Labs. I feel like I've tried 4 or 5 things. I've never tried the bronzer. I haven't fallen in love with like anything outside of the blush from Haus Labs yet, so I'm still waiting to be wowed. As you can see, I bust into this one as well. So this retails for $29, which isn't that less expensive than the one from Gucci. I did let this one breathe a bit. The B Structural Volumizing and Lengthening Mascara. Right now it's got like 4.5 stars, 29,000 reviews. It's supposed to be a biotech enhanced mascara that delivers 5 times the fanned out volume that's nourishing and lengthening, never clumpy or flaky, and safe for sensitive eyes. It's supposed to be long wearing, but its benefits or formulation is volumizing, curling, and lengthening. That's great. It says the vegan bee silk is a bioengineered polypeptide that wraps lashes in an invisible web-like matrix for soft, flexible hold and buildable volume while strengthening the lashes. Okay. It has a rice protein that helps to promote hair health. Panthenol, derived from vitamin B, helps to condition and nourish. I mean, all you have to really tell me is lengthening and volumizing. This is like a fatter wand with kind of those natural bristles that I don't personally love. There's very few mascaras that I think work well that have wands like this. It's just not my personal preference. I find that they're unnecessarily messy too because they're on the longer side like this, and they don't deposit enough product either because they're so fluffy, like a lot fluffier than a molded plastic bristled wand. Anyway, let's go on the left eye and form our thoughts. I have a feeling it's not going to beat out Gucci, but I am so happy that I opened these beforehand because I think it's going to change the way they perform for the first time. All right, that's just a little bit that's happening here. This is the lashes that like don't curl quite as much though. Maybe it wasn't fair to put this one over here. Or maybe it was because this claims to be a curling mascara. It's not immediately as pigmented as the Gucci, but it's not bad. And I'm not minding this wand either, although I can feel that it's wetter. I feel like you have to wipe this off a bit. It is giving a fan effect, you guys. Like it's definitely, I wouldn't say separating the lashes, but I like when it's pigmented enough that it's like highlighting every one that I have. And so it looks more full, which is super special. It's definitely clumping this set of lashes here that always tends to clump, but we're gonna move on with our life there and not hold it against the mascara. It is a little bit more clumpy than the one from Gucci, but I think it's as volumizing. I'll hold my eyes up so you guys can see. Is one longer than the other? Can you tell that this one is like clumpier and maybe is a little bit more volumizing? It is making the lashes a little thicker than this one just because it's like depositing a lot of like pigment on them. But I think both of them are just actually really good. I'm so glad that I picked up both of these. I'm not mad at myself whatsoever. So I'm gonna say bye to the box now. Okay, we're on to the very last thing and I'm really excited. Do I need a lip liner? I should probably get a lip liner. I just brought over all the lip liners because I have no idea what shade I got. So this is the Inks, the Vinyl Cream High Shine Lip Stain. Okay, so it's a lip stain, but a high shine one, and it's a vinyl cream. Like that's a lot of things in one. Retails for $48. It's a glossy hydrating liquid lip stain with creamy color that leaves lips feeling moisturized all day. Formula type is a lip stain. Benefits are hydrating and long wearing. It has tuberose, sourced from Yves Saint Laurent's Aruca Community Garden in Morocco. Okay, like they have their own community garden. Interesting. This very, very interesting. It only comes in 7 shades on its first launch. This is a little bit of an older release, kind of like the Patrick Ta eyeshadows. Like they're not just like just launched, where I kind of feel like the Haus Labs and the Gucci mascara came out a little bit later. I think I had this in my cart or my loves list for a second. But $48 lip products, I think I'm gonna buy them for myself, and then I don't always because I have so many. But this was like a Christmas treat. So this one is in the shade 611. Mauve Provocation, which is a light mauve nude. Ooh, it smells kind of fruity, but then also like a lip stain. Ooh, what? This is a very interesting little tip. Let me show you up close. Can you see those like tiny little ridges that's like holding the product in there? That is creepy, creepy cute. There's a swatch. It's lighter than I think mauve is. I'm hoping it doesn't come out too peach on the lips. And this looks pretty warm toned. So let's go for Rusty Pink from Huda Beauty, the Contour 2.0. I think that's what these lip pencils are called. Oh, these damn pencils are so creamy. Huda genuinely makes some of the best lip liners. Ooh, this is sticky. Very, very sticky. And that's the stain left over after the time it took me to apply the lip liner. Not bad. Here we go. They smell like a really strong fruit. Actually kind of perfumey mixed with fruit. I like that with that lip liner. Don't you? Don't you guys think that looks decent? Okay, I feel the cream. I see why they say cream. It's creamy because it has this weird gel texture that's like drying, and it feels a little bit more matte. When it says high shine, I don't think it's quite high shine the way, for example, the L'Oreal ones were. The high glossy balm sticks, I can't even remember, but they come in like a similar doe foot applicator kind of packaging, and they're pretty high shine, where this one I think is a little bit more cream-like instead of high shine. But I keep pressing my lips together and it's not making the shine go away, and you know it leaves a stain. I just think YSL usually does a really good job with all of their lip products. Like every one of the YSL lip products I have, they've just done a really good job. I mean, we all love their balms, the Love Candy lip shine things, and then the cream lipsticks that they came out with. I really do think they do a damn good job. And the thing with luxury lip products is that I think you can get very similar formulas from the drugstore. There are a select few of lip products that are so unique out there that I think cannot be duped from the drugstore. I think this would be one of them, because I've tried some like from Revlon that are very similar, and L'Oreal has done some similar things. The way this feels on the lips, it's so hard to describe to you guys because it's there. It has tackiness to it, but it's not sticky. And I keep pressing my lips together thinking the shine is gonna go away, and it's not. Like YSL, I feel like has done something just different here. And when they say the inks, vinyl cream, high shine, lip stain, perfect description, 100%. It is everything that that name is. Does that make any sense? I hope that makes sense for you guys. All right, that was everything. I am already gonna tell you guys that the side that I get more creasing on, I'm always paying attention to for fuller coverage concealers or things that are a little bit more drying. I can see that it's like all those little lines right there. It's just drier than I normally like for this Kosas. And I know it's not the concealer that I use, because that concealer, where is it? It's so thin and it's so lightweight, there's just not a lot of texture to it. And I've repurchased that concealer many times, and I've used it over so many things. If I could go back in time, I would pass on this. I would. I may even end up returning this because I've held onto the box. I just don't think this is going to be a formula that I like, and because I have the KARIM color corrector, I just think that is so much better, especially for mature under eyes. I think it's a better formulation. I find this very similar in weight and dryness as the Revealer concealer. If you liked that, you guys, you might end up enjoying this, but if you're somebody who likes a thinner weight concealer or even struggles with creasing and sinking into the fine lines, I wouldn't recommend this to you, you guys. I would say go KARIM all the way. A lot of people have, and that's why it's been sold out for so long. I don't know if it's currently sold out on the Sephora website. Let's check it out, because it was sold out for so long here. Nope. Dawn Fair with Pink Undertones is now available on Sephora's website. It was also sold out on KARIM's website too for the longest time, so it's back in stock. I would just recommend you get that one for 28 bucks. It's even less expensive. I think you get more product, and it's such a thin formula. I've put so many concealers on top of it. It's just worked spectacularly. So in a recap, oh my gosh, I loved everything. I even really enjoyed the Patch Your Ta. So if you were like hating on this for the price point, maybe I changed your mind. But this in Still at the Club is fabulous. I'm gonna be wearing this all the freaking time. I really enjoy this. I like YSL lip products so much that I often end up going back for a second shade because I like it so much. And this cute little heart at the bottom here like tells you can kind of see what color it is, and I like that about it too. YSL just typically does something cool with their packaging. I just enjoy it. It's lighter weight, but there's just nice little features on all of their products. And both of these mascaras are a hit. They're a win. I'm freaking love both of them. I didn't find anything bad with either of them, and I thought I wasn't gonna like the Haus Labs as much. I thought I was gonna love the Gucci, but I think both of them are neck and neck. I really am surprised at their performance and excited that I have them in my collection, because I haven't fallen for a new concealer in a year, maybe longer. the last time I tried the Rituel de Fille Levitation Lash for the first time. So these ones might be doing it for me. Anyway, I am going to be linking everything in the description box, including the shade of anything in case like I missed it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys are not currently subscribed, I'd love to see you subscribe, you guys. I'm out of here and I hope to catch y'all in my next video. Bye guys.